Well, hello. This certainly is an exciting time for many of you as much as it is for us. My name is Eric Upton. I'm the middle school pastor here at Bridgeway Christian Church. And we couldn't be more excited than to be welcoming you, our fifth grade families, into the Edge Middle School Ministry experience. We're going to try and put together a little experiment. We're going to make some videos and let you know some of the things that you can expect while you're expecting a middle school student. A lot of families, they come into middle school with their kids and they transition up, and it's a whole new experience, and all of a sudden it hits them. Wow, things have changed. It's an exciting time and also kind of a scary one for a lot of parents. So we wanted to create a series of videos that would help you as parents experience the next 3 years with the utmost success. So our first video, we're going to talk about some of the basics, everything that you can expect. We want you to know exactly where we meet. Your students' first experience, exciting stuff that's coming up very, very soon, just for you and them. So here's our first thing. Maybe you haven't exactly gotten the chance to wander over to our neck of the woods. Maybe you arrive a little bit late, and when you meander onto your classrooms or your child's classroom, you see students hanging out around certain parts of the campus. Well, our building, our room is right here. This is it. You're looking at the stage behind me, the big screen, the fancy lights and all that stuff. We're super blessed, but this space exists right on the other side of the on-site Rockland room and across the way from the main building where our worship center is, and actually is directly across from the Fuel High School room. You'll notice there's some white lawn signs that are stuck in the planters. They say Edge Middle School Ministries, and they've got little arrows pointing you through the right doors. Check us out, maybe even sit in on a service and see what it's all about. You are welcome to. The only thing we ask is that you would check with your student first and make sure they're comfortable with it. Next up, we want you to know when we meet. Edge Middle School Ministry currently has 3 programs that your students can be a part of, and we invite you to be a part of as many as possible. The first is our weekend services. We invite students out to our weekend services at 4 p.m. on Saturday nights and at 11:15 a.m. on Sunday mornings. We might play a game. Potentially we'll have some worship. We have round tables and about 8 seats around each table. Students are invited to come in and engage with dialogue. We challenge students, we invite them into the process, and we have a lot of fun while we do it. We don't want to hang everything so far above their heads that they feel like they're listening to a lecture, but we also don't want to make things so simple that it's kind of that low-hanging fruit that they easily get bored with. Next up is our midweek program. Wednesday nights is kind of where we get a little crazy. A lot of times you'll see us playing games and doing all kinds of fun events on Wednesday nights, but we also have worship during this gathering. And in addition to that, we invite our students to be a part of small groups. It's one of the greatest aspects of our ministry and what I would call the backbone of who we are at Edge Middle School Ministries. We invite students to tell us what's going on in their lives, how they're managing different situations. We offer accountability and check in with them at various points. We want to hear the highs and lows of their week during this time. And this is a moment for students to just kind of unplug from technology and focus in on people and relationships. If you have a student who's merely coming on the weekends right now, we would invite you to take the challenge and step into our midweek program and see what that's like. We have a lot to offer through our small groups and also everything else that we do on Wednesdays. Here's what we want to encourage you to do. We want to encourage you to know your small group leader. Your student is involved with this other adult and we're pouring into them, but understand, it's not just on our shoulders to teach them everything there is to know about the Bible. In fact, what we should be doing is really backing up everything that you're teaching and you're saying. And so it makes sense that you would know us and we would know you, and together we would join in ministering to your student. You know, Tony Dungy, the Super Bowl winning coach from the Indianapolis Colts a few years back, explained a story in one of his books saying that his son used to come down in high school and every morning his dad, Tony, would encourage him to eat breakfast. And every morning his son would shrug it off as if it was lame advice or he didn't need it. And then finally one morning, Tony comes downstairs to find his son is up earlier than normal and he's made himself a large breakfast and is sitting down at the table and eating it. And internally he thought to himself, wow, my son's finally taking my advice. And not being able to help himself, he decides to investigate. And he says, I see you're eating a good breakfast this morning, son. His son turns to him and he says, yeah, coach says that if I eat a good breakfast, I'll be able to perform better on the field and things will go a lot better for me. So I decided to listen to him and try it out. Tony left scratching his head because he had spent the last number of weeks and months and days saying the exact same thing. Now, sometimes students hear us as parents saying things over and over and over again, and it feels like it goes in one ear and out the other. When just you know you have an extra voice. an extra adult saying the same thing that you are. Something sinks in, and for whatever reason, a student decides to listen to it. We don't want to take over your role. We want to assist in your role. Look at us as your biggest fans, your cheerleaders, your helpers, your assistant coaches, if you will. Let us know how the family is doing. Invite us to dinner. We love to eat. Let us know when your child is involved in sports because we would love to come and cheer them on. The leaders who are with them right now as they start in 6th grade are the ones who are going to travel along with them throughout the course of their middle school program. A lot of parents come to me and they say, I'm having a tough time getting little Billy or little Jane involved in small group. They just don't want to come. Perhaps you can come alongside your student and affirm some quality character traits that you see in them. Maybe there's another student who kind of feels like you do, but their parent made them come to church. And I bet they could use someone with your character traits. I bet they could use a friend with your qualities. I bet they would love to get to know you. You have a lot to offer. I bet Eric would love to see you because you have a gift in this area, and that's something they could use in Edge. Those are the types of encouragements that students love to hear. Hopefully that's a help to you as you encourage your students to get involved in small groups. What is Edge Middle School Ministry really about? This ministry isn't just for students. We're all about family. We're about you as parents. And if students came to every single one of our programs, midweek and weekend, they'd spend about 3% of their teenage years or teenage life inside the church. Well, what happens to the other 97%? In my mind, a big chunk of that 97% is spent with you. If we're not reaching out to you, if we're not helping you or equipping you well, we're missing a pretty big piece of the pie when it comes to student ministries. We have great resources here at Bridgeway. Soul Care is a phenomenal resource here. Laura Fodry heads up our Soul Care Center. If you or your family ever have a need for extra counseling, that we would encourage you to stop by there first and see what they have to say. Let's talk about some other things. I'd love to talk to you about what your students are going to experience in their first weekend here at Edge. It's this Saturday and Sunday, June 7th and 8th. Now, when your students first walk into Ed, look out for something pretty specific. It's an iPad mini. We're going to ask your students to check in using this right here, our database system. This is so that we can keep in contact with you, you can keep in contact with us, and be up to date on everything that's going on. It's going to be in the very front of the room. One of our leaders will be standing there, and they can guide you through the process of getting your information. Please don't forget to include your email address, your first and last name. We're also going to want your email address. We'd also like to get your cell phone number and who your cell phone provider is. We're also going to want your email address. This is kind of the central hub of what we do here at Edge. So please make sure that you check this out, that you give us all the accurate information, and if your information has changed, that you let us know so that we can update that in the system. Here's what else you can expect. On Saturday at the 4 p.m. service, we're going to be having a pizza and devotional night. We're going to keep it pretty relaxed and just allow for your students to engage with the other students who are belonging to Edge already. We're going to feed them pizza, we're going to have a devotional time, and we're going to play some games that allow each of the students to kind of interact and get to know each other. On Sunday morning at 11:15, we're going to have a breakfast and devotional time. We're going to have cereals and pastries and milk and juice and all kinds of other stuff. And at the tables, we're going to do the same thing we did on Saturday. It's going to be a great time for your students. They're going to feel loved on, welcomed, and included throughout the whole time. Pickup's a little different in Edge, so you don't have to worry about stickers or barcodes or anything like that. A lot of times students are just hanging out playing ping pong or talking with one another. Other times you can find your student hanging out in the community hall or just outside the doors. Upcoming events, first one we want you to know about, we're calling it our family movie night. On July 25th, Camp Kidsway is going on. They're going to be taking over a large portion of the building, and so we're going to let them have our space here in Edge and move off-site for the evening. We're going to be seeing a movie, How to Train Your Dragon Part 2, and I happen to be a huge fan of it. And we want to invite not only your student, but you and your entire family to come and join us as well. So come on out. It's July 25th. We'll let you know what time it is as soon as we know, probably around that 6 to 7 p.m. range. Also, July is going to be our water month. We usually go to a park. We'll do things like 100-foot slip and slide, die wars, something that we like to call the gauntlet. We'll let you know all the details as far as when those are going to happen, but they'll be on our Wednesday nights all throughout July. Lastly, big event, super excited about it. Hume Lake is coming up. We leave July 6th and return on the 12th from Hume Lake Christian Camp. If you're not signed up, we do have a waiting list available, and if spots arrive, we would love to give one to you. I know I'm excited, and so are all the leaders who are coming with us. So those are the things going on in Edge, the things you can expect right away, and the basic details about our ministry and what we do here. If you have any questions, feel free to contact myself or my administrative assistant, Kim Kemper. You can reach Kim at her email address, Kim, K-I-M, @bridgewaychristian.org, or you can just simply call us here at the church. You can reach me by email, Eric, E-R-I-C, at bridgewaychristian.org. We're also available on the city. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/EdgeMSM. You can also follow us on Twitter at EdgeMSM. You can also follow us on Instagram at EdgeMSM. And those are basically all the forms of contact. So make sure you look for us. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you again soon with some great content.